Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 Dreamcast review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the King of Fighters Dream Match 1999, which for those who don't know is actually King of Fighters 98. They ported it over at the Dreamcast, and something to do with the fact that by the time it came out it was 99, so they had to legally call it 99 or some crap like that. I don't really know the full story. All I know is when I was researching it, I kept hearing everyone saying that King of Fighters 99 was really poor, and then I also kept hearing people saying King of Fighters 99 was the best one they ever made, and it turns out it's because 98 is considered the best one that was ever made. It was ported as 99, and 99 itself then came out under 99 Evolution, and it's considered relatively poor. So that's basically to try and clear up any confusion that anyone else might have. There are two versions of 99 for the Dreamcast. Dream Match is the one that people recommend. Evolution is the one that people say avoid. Personally, I've only played Dream Match, but I do think it's fantastic. So let's get into the nitty gritty. At the start, you've got team play, team versus, single play, single versus. Basically, for those who don't know, King of Fighters is a team fighting game. It's you get like a choice of multiple characters to make up your team, and then you can go through. But single player means that you can play it as a regular fighting game. So, for example, Street Fighter 2, something like that. Survivor in practice are pretty self-explanatory. The whole point is you have to survive, and practice just hopefully helps you train and practice up a bit. Neo Geo Pocket, I have no idea what the option does. First up, I have the Japanese version of the game, so the manual's in Japanese. Second up, I've never owned a Neo Geo Pocket. And third up, it's only by games like this that I realised the Neo Geo could link up to the Dreamcast. So I really don't know anything about that stuff. Unfortunately, it's just not my area of expertise whatsoever. Options wise, you can go up to 8 on difficulty level, which for now I'll just put it on 1 so that I don't embarrass myself too much while I'm talking, reading, etc. Playtime, you can put it on normal or infinite, and that's it. Language, you can change a little bit there. You've actually got quite a few European languages, to be fair. Well, Spanish and Portuguese, as well as English, despite it being a Japanese game, which is rather cool. Stage select on or off. You can have battle config, button config. They're just basic things like you can choose your energy level on that, your power gauge, just things like that really. And you can, with button config, obviously customize your controls. So let's just actually go into it. I might as well choose team play, seeing as that's what King of Fighters is really famous for. I'm pretty sure on the original, the very first one, there wasn't even an option for single play. So it's something that it definitely seems to have came with later versions. From there, you can choose between advanced and extra. I might as well choose extra. And let's just choose a few people who I know I can at least mildly play as and mildly like. So Terry Bogard, Iori, and sort of I'll just have a random for the last one. No idea who I got there. I'll find out like everyone else. Right then. For those who don't know, it is your standard fighting affair, really. The whole point is you've got an energy limit each, and the general idea is kick the crap out of your opponent, and then go on to the next one, and then go on to the next one, and then you go on to the next team. Obviously, if you're on single player, you just, kick the crap out of the next opponent, and go on to the next opponent, and like that. And it's Mai who I appear to have got. I thought it was, but I wasn't too sure, what with the old bad eyesight and having to squint to mildly be able to work out if it was even a male or female character I'd been given in a random. So, there's not really much I can actually say about the game. As you might have noticed, Advanced and Extra does change which sort of power gauge you've got at the bottom, because Andy Bogard, my character's brother actually, had the advanced power gauge, as you can see there, and I've got the extra power gauge, and it adds another level of play to it, because it means that each character plays, I suppose, slightly differently, because you get different super moves, really, from doing it. You get different abilities from the gauge. So it's just one of those things that it means that, as well as having a pretty large roster, as you might have noticed there, I think there was 3 strips of 4 teams each, so that's 12 on each, and then a couple others, and it just means that there is a hell of a lot of gameplay here for the one player and multiplayer options, because it's one of those that depends on what style of play you like to do. So you could play for, see, a couple hours on advanced with Terry Bogard and then swap over to extra to see what the difference is. It is heavily contented game, and I think that's one of the reasons why loads of people absolutely rave about it. Not just the fact that there's so much to do, the fact that it's pretty much every fighter in the universe that people wanted, because that's why it's called the Dream Match, I believe, if I read up correctly about it. It's because it's supposed to be proper fan service, it's the dream setup, so you've got that going for it. You've then got the fact that the balancing on the game is really well, and a lot of people consider this to be one of the most balanced fighters out there. It's not something really where it's one-sided, where one character will always dominate another, so I quite like that about it. Graphically, it's pretty good. Obviously there's better games on the Dreamcast, but it is one of the earlier ones. And musically it's great too. So I'll shut up for a little bit of the music, and then I'll finish off the vid, really. So that was a little bit of the music. There's not really much I've got left to say, but there are a couple things. One, you might be able to notice if you've got better vision than myself that I no longer have Mai as part of my team. I've got Kinsu, and that's because when you choose a random on the game, it randoms them every, well, not so much round because these are rounds, but every team you fight. So that once I beat these three, which I think Benimaru is actually my last one, so hopefully you'll see it firsthand if I kind of delay a little bit. But once I beat them, it will swap again, and it'll do that for however many people you've chose as randoms. So it is really cool that you can do that, because it also adds more legs to the single player, because maybe you've beat it with every character already, and you've beat it with the teams that you know you like and the setup that you know you like, so just choose 3 randoms and go through and beat it with an ever-changing roster. It's just something that's really cool about it. I'd love for other games to do that. The other thing that I can mention is there are a few unlockables on the game. I believe there's at least one unlockable team, and there's... Sorry about that, I was just actually selecting the character that I got in the random for me second one. I meant to do him as first, but anyway, there's at least one unlockable team, there's a couple unlockable characters to play as therefore, and there's a couple alternate version type things to do, where if you highlight certain people and hold stuff, you get differences, and it's just one of those that there is, as I've already said about 9 times, a lot of gameplay in this one. It is, as far as I'm concerned, easily one of the best King of Fighter games I've ever played. The only other ones I've actually got really are 94, which I reviewed on the VC ages ago, 2000, which I'm about to review. You might have seen it, but maybe you watched that one before this one, and 2002, which again I'm about to review. So out of the 4 that I've got, this is easily one of the best. I'd probably simply rate it 98, because this is 8 technically, 02, 2000, and then 94. But I'm not exactly an expert on the King of Fighter series. I've not played every series, but if you are getting a Dreamcast and you're after some decent fighters, I can definitely recommend at least 3 of the KOF games, and there's a hell of a lot of others that you might have noticed I've reviewed as well, along the lines of Garou, Mark of the Wolves and Street Fighter, and I'm just mental for the genre really. I absolutely love it, and this is easily one of my favourites. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid, or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel, because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.